It's been a while since we spoke last, David.
It has been, Steve. Yeah, a couple of years, mate.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you've gotten yourself a couple of new guitars.
We have. We're really excited about them. They're something pretty special. The brand is called Sonic, and I believe these are the only ones in Australia at this stage.
Right.
Yeah. So how they came about, and they're actually our signature models, which is nice to. I've played 46 years and finally got the name on the headstock, which was lovely. We were in Japan earlier this year at the invitation of Hiroshi Masuda, who's the CEO of KTS Titanium, who we've been involved with for a few years, using his titanium bridge saddles on our guitars. And yeah, he invited us over. We went across to Tokyo and had a great time there, and he showed us all the sites and the guitar stores and everything, and he invited us to his office, and he said he wanted us to meet Mr. Yutaka Takeda, who is one of Japan's top boutique luthiers. Right. And he has the Sonic brand, and we thought that's great. So we went to the office and we met Mr. Takeda, and we played a couple of his guitars. I played an S style, and then played a J bass style, and but in different colours. They were in like a surf green, but we were just totally blown away with the workmanship, the sound and everything with the guitar and bass. And after a bit of discussion, we played a bit, jammed a bit, and played some tracks off the album to them. And Mr. Takeda, who doesn't speak any English, spoke to Hiroshi, and they had a bit of a powwow, and Hiroshi said, well, Mr. Takeda would like to build you signature models. And we went, really? And he said, yeah, he likes what you do, and he'd love for his guitars to be seen and heard in Australia. So that's how they came about.
Talk us through a couple of the features of your guitar.
Sure. Well, as you can see, it's an S style. It's a classic shape. It's ash body, very light ash body, maple neck, rosewood board, titanium, KTS titanium saddles, bone nut, which it's a proprietary thing he's actually invented which is a self-lubricating nut, so you can go with the whammy bar and it doesn't go out of tune, which is pretty amazing. We chose the colour schemes, candy apple red and black pearl pick guards and everything. The trick bit about it is the wiring, because it's wired like a standard S-style guitar, 3 single coils, but the tone and volume controls, when they're maxed out, are hardwired straight to the output. So that's just going straight to the output. You back off a little bit, and it brings the tone and volume pots into the equation. The other thing that's pretty amazing about it is when you're on the bridge pickup, that's just your standard single coil. You back off on this tone pot here, and it actually brings in, instead of just knocking the tops off, it brings in the neck pickup, so you can blend that in, and it really warms the sound up, almost, especially if you're using a little overdrive. Almost makes it like a humbucker type situation. So yeah, he's gone to a great deal of thought and detail and in the wiring of these things, and as I was talking to Ted earlier on, I'm finding myself now working the tone and volume controls a lot more than I ever did with a standard guitar.
Talk us through the bass.
You can do that.
You haven't said anything yet.
No, I know, that's all right.
Well, Lyn's bass is once again a J bass style. It has the 2 single coil pickups. You've got a master volume, master tone. No, sorry, that's wrong. That's the volume for the neck pickup. That's the volume for the bridge pickup. A master tone here. But the magic with this one is when you pull out the tone pot out, it actually combines the 2 single coils into one big fat humbucker, which gives you a boost, volume boost, and it's fat.
Which is handy if the guitarist's playing too loudly. You just go.
I didn't think that ever happened.
News to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Play us a couple of lines. Let's have a listen to your bass.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd like to hear the bass on its own.
Absolutely.
First,
Yeah.
Okay, which one?
You can do a bit of That'll Get Back.
Yep.
Pull the switch out. So you hear that boost. piano like a bass. It's just got that.
Yeah.
Got everything going on. Yeah.
Well, can we have a listen to the two in concert?
Absolutely. This is just a little riff off one of the tracks off the album called That'll Get Back. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I snuck the ending in on you, sorry.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so they really work well together. Yeah, we're real happy with them because we play as a three-piece, and they just work really well together. Just the guitar, bass, and drums. There's so much tonal variation you can get out of them, and we just love them. Really loving them.
Now you got to demonstrate them at NAMM.
Didn't get to demonstrate these at NAMM. We demonstrated the KTS saddles. We didn't. We've only only not long had these. These have only been here for about 2 months or something.
Yeah.
But we were in NAMM last year demonstrating on the KTS stand.
Well, had they been with you, you would have been.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it might be interesting for some of our listeners who may not know what NAMM is. Just describe what an event it is.
Well, yeah, it's the biggest music trade show in the world. NAMM stands for National Association of Music Merchants, and it's held every year in Anaheim, California, near Disneyland, at the Anaheim Convention Center, and it's like 5 floors of this huge convention center, and it's just
over 95,000 people.
It is amazing. Like the big names like Fender and Gibson, PRS, they have like a whole floor each, and but you've got everything from boutique brands through to the major companies, and it's not just guitars. It's like everything: guitars, drums, keyboards, recording gear, and it's just madness. That it's like we were on the stand, the KTS stand one day, and I said to Lynn, it was Stevie Wonder just walking past there. Stevie Wonder cruised past with his entourage, and we got to hang out with some great guys like Chris Duarte and Jeff Berlin and Skunk Baxter. You know, it's just it does your head in a bit. You know, you're just demonstrating on this stand. All these guys are dropping by. John Jorgensen, Annie Timmins. You know, so it's a great hang.
And it was John who said that one of his favourite groups.
John Jorgensen.
From Australia, and we said, "Oh, who's that?" He said, "The Seekers."
You like the Seekers?
Yeah. And he's like Elton John's guitar player. We thought it's going to be AC/DC or In Excess or no, it's the Seekers. So there you go. Good on you, Seekers.
Yeah. Well, you've also done recently the Jimi Hendrix Show here in Sydney at the Factory.
Yeah. That was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that was a buzz. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Who was in the lineup?
Well, it was Kev Borich, the legend, and man, he's still playing amazingly. Like, you know, it's when he got up at soundcheck in the afternoon. You know, he got 9 guitar players there, and like the rhythm section was Dario and Mick from Baby Animals on bass and drums, who are awesome. And you know, you go through the run through in the afternoon, and Kev just gets up and plugs in, and we all just looked at each other and went, you know. But there was also Dave Leslie from Baby Animals, great guy, great player. Steve Edmonds, they were all great. Randall Waller, James Krostowski, young up and coming young gun. Joel McDonald, Jack Houston, Pete Northcote. Man, can that guy play? And yours truly. And I was honoured to be in the presence of such greatness. But the hang was fantastic. You know, the vibe backstage was great. You know, there was just a lot of big camaraderie happening there, and everyone was cheering each other on. got up in the end to do the encore, which was, and I said to Dave Leslie, because this is the first time I've done the show this year, and I said, what's the jam like at the end? And he said, pea soup. He said, you've got 9 guitar players having at it, and a bass player and a drummer. He said, what do you reckon it's like? It's pea soup, mate. He said, I thought it might be. But we did Crosstown Traffic and Johnny Be Good as the encore. And it was loud. I mean, everyone's going for it. But it was great because no one played over each other. It was, you know, went across the stage, everyone had their turn to solo, and then you just sat back and let the next guy go. And it was funny, I think we'd gone through our first round of solos in Crosstown, and I think it was Steve Edmonds turned around everyone and said, want to go again? And we've gone, yes. So that was the kind of vibe that it was.
But all the amps on stage and all the pedal boards too, it was just
It was funny.
classic.
Yeah, in the afternoon, wasn't it? As everyone was arriving, you know, the stage is filling up with amps. It was like a car park, you know. It's like, oh, where can I put my amp? Yeah, but it was good. It's all good.
What tune did you do?
I did Voodoo Child, which was a gift because I love that song. And I did Red House, and I did that with Randall Waller. We did that one together when sort of swapped verses and solos and stuff. So that was good fun.
Who sang for you? Was Lyn or?
No, I would have loved Lyn to be up there,
Yeah.
but because it's like 9 guitar players, we all used the same rhythm section, and everyone sang their own stuff. I sang Voodoo Child, and Randall and I shared the vocals in Red House. So yeah, we did like a verse for verse.
Right. And your gigs, just generally, you're busy and.
Yeah, Bounty Hunters is going really well. We're gigging every weekend, and the new album's going really well, Rise. We're getting some nice sales going through iTunes, and it's out on the major retailers through MGM. Thank you, Sab. They're right behind us. So yeah, it's in JB and Sanity and Burland in Sydney have got it and stuff. So
Yeah. How long did it take you to knock it up?
Well, it was pretty quick, really. We initially went in to do an EP. We were going to do like 4 or 5 tracks, and we recorded it because we live in Port Macquarie on the mid-north coast, and there's a great studio at Beechwood, which is just out of Warhope, a tiny little place. And but Michael Lynch, who's been a staff engineer at Sony for many years, a great mastering engineer, has relocated up there. He's from Port originally. He actually did work experience in my studio many years ago. And he's built this fantastic studio called Shoehorse Sound in a farm shed, but it just looks like an old farm shed on the outside. Inside, it's purpose built. The drum room is amazing. He's got all the great tube gear, and we were initially just going to go in there and do drums, and then finish it off at our place. But once we got in there, we went, "This is too good. Let's just keep going here."
And with all the microphones and...
He's got the beautiful tube mics and preamps and everything, and gets a great sound. So we knocked 5 tracks over pretty quickly, and then we got on this writing spurt and churned out a few more songs. And all of a sudden we went, well, hey, we've got 12 tracks. 11 tracks. We've got 11 tracks.
We've got an album.
That's enough for an album. So we went back and booked another block to do the others and did the album. So we did it over just a couple of weeks, basically, in 2 blocks, and then mixed it, and we had playback, and he said, it's great, mastered it, there it was. We wanted to keep it, Steve, we wanted to keep it really live sounding, because we're 3-piece.
Yeah.
We're 3-piece live, and we didn't want to overdo it with the overdubs and all that sort of thing. We wanted to be able to recreate it live. And so we kept overdubs to a minimum. I mean, I doubled some rhythm tracks and overdubbed my solos. But apart from that, we all played together in the room. Just set up in the room of the 3 of us, and Lyn's bass amp was in an ISO booth. I tracked my rhythm parts to through a Fractal XFX2 so to get the separation, and we were all in the room with Rob, our drummer, with cans, the old school, eyeballing each other as we played, and yeah.
That was great.
Now with your Japanese connection, I wonder if you're going to take the show over there.
We'd love to. Actually, Hiroshi from KTS reckons that the style of music we do, which I guess is classic blues rock, he thinks that it would go over great over there. And Yutaka, who built our guitars, agrees. And it's just a matter of the logistics of getting over there and lining up some gigs and stuff. But sure, we'd love to do it. And they're actually getting our music out to a bit of the media in Japan at the moment. So we'll gauge that. And
Yeah, it'd probably be very handy because it's a smaller area and a lot more people.
Yeah, and they love their rock and roll.
Yeah.
They love it, and they're very appreciative, you know. And while we're in Tokyo, we went to, I can never remember the area of Tokyo where all the guitar stores are, but there is this one part of Tokyo which is just guitar shops.
Right.
And like city blocks of nothing but guitar shops, and like they're 7 and 8 stories high. It's just
it's insane.
mind-boggling. You go in, there's one called Guitar Heaven, wasn't there? And you go in, ground floor is like entry-level stuff, first floor is Fender, all Fender, from vintage, like they got 57 Strats and stuff sitting in glass cases, to custom shop stuff. Then there's Gibson, and then there's PRS, and then there's, you know, boutique brands, and then there's the acoustic floor, then there's the bass floor, and it's crazy.
Well, I'd like to hear a little bit more. Can you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Just run these puppies through.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to do a bit of Run Scared? This is just a bit of a riff of the opening track from the album. So 2, 3, 4. Doing time, yeah. 2, 3, 4.
Sounds quite good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what's the album called, mate?
Steve, the album's called Rise, R-I-S-E, and that's the title track off it, which is a kind of a song of hope and positive vibes in these interesting times. And yeah, there's 11 tracks on the album. It's available at, here's the plug, it's available digitally on iTunes, and it's available in CD format from JB Hi-Fi stores and Sanity. If they haven't got it in stock, they can certainly order it in for you through MGM distribution. And also Birdland Records in George Street, our mates in there are stocking it as well, and we're selling them at gigs. So yeah, anyone that comes to a Bounty Hunters gig will have stock there.
Yep. Well, as usual, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Can
Thanks,
you play
Steve.
us out, mate? Let's
let's
have another tune.
Okay, well this is just a little riffy number that of the album. It's called the Fun Police, and thanks for having us.
Thank you.
2, 3, 4.